Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm answering your most asked questions about the wedding planning process and all things related to. I actually asked you guys over on Instagram to ask me some questions that you had planning your own wedding, or if you're currently planning a wedding, what questions you currently have. And I thought I'd just answer them for you guys today. So I'm really excited to dive right into this. Before we get started, I do want to let you guys know that the new videos of this wedding series will go live the first Saturday of every month leading up to our wedding in November. And I kind of got my dates mixed up this month, so this month aside, it'll usually be the first Saturday of every month, again, leading up to November. So just keep on the lookout for that. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd love for you to join my little corner of the internet, and make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy videos like this. And with further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first question I got, and I actually got this a couple of times, is how can we plan and save money on a wedding? So my biggest tip for this is just to set a priority list. So for us, we just chose 5 things we absolutely had to have at our wedding, and then everything else would just be extra. So obviously we need a venue, we need food and music, a guest list, which if you haven't thought that far, however many people come to your wedding can extremely affect your budget. And I don't remember what our 5th thing was, but I will say just focus on the priorities or what you absolutely need at a wedding or need for your wedding, and that is going to be how you're going to really prioritize your budget and figure out what you can live without, what you need to have. Like I said, having a smaller guest count can eliminate like food costs and chair rentals and stuff like that. I also know that choosing a smaller bridal party is going to be much more beneficial than having like 6 people on each side, because there are costs that come along with having a bridal party, in case you aren't aware. And yeah, I think those are just like my top 3 things. So set a priority list, watch your guest count, and then maybe be very selective when it comes to your bridal party. This next question kind of goes into what I was just saying about your bridal party, so I'll go ahead and share it. It's, do we have to have a bridal party? No, you do not. So Ryan and I weren't actually going to have a bridal party, and it was more me than him. I really didn't think I wanted people standing next to us. I think we were gonna just do like a best man and a maid of honor. I don't think we were really planning to have a few people stand next to us. Right now, we're kind of on the cusp of doing 3 and 3. And there was a point that I was just like, I don't want anyone standing next to us. I just want it to be a moment for us, and it's not something you have to do. So that would be my answer to that. You don't have to have a bridal party if you don't want one. And if you are gonna have one, you are worried about budget, just be very selective with it. Okay, I really love this next question. It's how early is too early to start planning? It's never too early to start planning, and it's never too late. I'm really actually passionate about this question because I just think there's a lot of pressure from the wedding industry to be like on this set schedule, and you just, if you don't do this in month 12, then your month 11 is gonna get pushed back, and like all you're doing, and this is how I view a wedding, you're just planning a big party. That is it. You are the focus and the host of a big party. That is all you're doing. So like, stop overthinking it. I hate when you do like budget planning workbooks or wedding planning books online. Like they're all like, 1 year out, you have to have this figured out and this figured out and this figured out. And then 6 months out, you have to do this, this, and this. You don't. You absolutely do not have to do that. And so as far as like how early is too early to start planning when it feels right to you. Yes, venues book very fast. And photographers get booked very quickly. And yes, there are things that you should do in a timely manner, but I don't think that you have to stick to a schedule. I really don't. And I say that, and I don't want to share personal information, but I literally know someone who had a wedding in 2 weeks, and it was beautiful. So I just don't know if they'd want me to share like details of who they are. But I will say I had a really close person have a wedding in 2 weeks, and it was stunning, and she had a photographer, she had a venue. I mean, you can do things, I wouldn't suggest doing them last minute, but you don't have to stick to this like overscaled timeline for the perfect wedding. You really don't. So I'm very passionate in that sense of how to, like, in the timeline that you have to plan your wedding, like, do what's best for you. That's my biggest advice, is just do what feels best for you and you guys as a couple. And I think this question is more geared to longer engagements, so people who are engaged for like a year, 2 years, that kind of thing. I think doing what's best for you is going to be the best answer I can give you. Should I hire a videographer? Is it worth it? I personally like the idea of a videographer because I'm a very visual person. While pictures are great and definitely something I'll have at my wedding, I kind of like the idea of having a videographer there, just to capture like the live moments. And you can only get so much from a photo, that I think a video is way more valuable, which probably is also hand in hand with their price tag. Having a videographer at your wedding is extremely expensive. As far as like budget's concerned, they're not very budget friendly in my opinion. But also at the same time, I wouldn't devalue someone's work. Like, videographers, like the editing that goes into a wedding video is very intricate. And I think that for someone who is a videographer, they have a different skill set than a photographer, personally. And I think that that is something that is very subjective. So if you want a videographer at your wedding, go for it. But just know that as far as like budget's concerned, because a lot of the questions I got were about budgeting and stuff like that. As far as budgets are concerned, they're not super budget friendly. And I want to warn you about that. But I've never seen or heard someone say that it wasn't worth it in their opinion. So do your research like you would for a photographer. Make sure you like their work and see if, you know, they can work with you on pricing or a payment plan. But that's what I would suggest. And actually, I got another question that said, how do I make it memorable without breaking the bank? So I guess, how do you make your wedding memorable? It's already going to be memorable. I mean, you're marrying the love of your life. Your significant other and you are taking a new adventure and taking on a new chapter in your life that you haven't experienced before. And I do think that it's going to be memorable no matter what. Again, making it memorable, that goes back to maybe hiring a photographer or having your guest use a specific hashtag to take their own photos, so you can always, you know, look back on that. And maybe a videographer is in your budget. I know that probably sounds like a really cheesy answer, but in my mind, that's how I view it, is that it's going to be a new step. I also have friends that are married that are like, it's no different than dating. I feel that on a personal level, because us being engaged, I'm still like, oh, my boyfriend, like, I don't say fiance. Like, it's so weird for me. I don't know if you guys saw the last video I posted, but when I said fiance the first time in that video, that felt really uncomfortable for me. I don't know why, but it was just unnatural, because I guess I've been saying boyfriend for the last 8 years, but it was really different for me, that's for sure. Oh, I really love this question. It says, how can I find affordable bridal party gifts? So I plan on doing a bridal party gift like video for you guys. I'm not going to share it until I've asked them, because I don't know if they watch my videos or not. But in the event that they do, they're gonna be able to tell who they are, because I personalize some stuff. So if they watch my videos, they might know who they are. And I would rather surprise them than them find out in a video. I don't know how to like tell you guys without like giving it away, because I honestly don't know if they watch my videos or not. So it's like hard to like share the answer. So as far as like, where can you find affordable bridal party gifts? Do like those mini wine bottles. Like, they come in a 4-pack at Target for like $5. Like, do, I think it's Sutter Home or something. I'm not a wine drinker, you guys, at all. I know, unpopular opinion, but anyways, go there, get like a little wine spritzer and throw that in there with a handwritten card and some candy. Like, you can make it a cute gift without going overboard. Just don't overthink it. That's gonna be my biggest advice. Don't overthink it. And again, I will do a video on this in the near future, so stay tuned for that if you want more specifics on that question. Okay, so for the next question, actually, I kind of made a mental note to say this. I got a lot of questions saying like, do we have to XYZ? I just wanted to make a note and say, like, you do not have to do anything. If you have to ask yourself that, it's no. The answer is always probably going to be no. It actually is always going to be no, because you don't have to do anything. So there was a lot of like, do we have to, whatever. You do not have to do anything. So I just wanted to make a quick note about that. Like, please just do what you feel is best for you and your spouse, and your day is going to be amazing no matter what. How do I choose a color scheme or a theme for a wedding? I'm not a big fan of themed anything in life, really, if I'm being completely honest. In high school, my friends used to call me like Plain Jane because I don't like prints, patterns, I don't even like flowers, you guys. The advice I was given to choose like a color scheme is to look at my closet and figure out what colors stand out the most, like that I wear the most often, because that is me, that is my color scheme, and I wear a lot of neutrals and dark colors, and so our wedding's probably gonna be something about neutrals and accents of dark colors. Like, that is what we'll be doing. So that was the biggest tip I got, and I was like, that makes so much sense. So if you're just kind of stumped and you don't know what kind of colors to do, whatever, maybe try that method. Also, maybe time of year may have a big impact on which colors you go with. So like if you're having a wedding in the winter, you're not gonna go with like bright beach blue and yellow, and I mean, you might, I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, maybe play off the season. That might be a good direction to choose your colors as well. So that's just my advice. Okay, so one of the last questions I'm gonna answer is, how can we save money? My biggest suggestion is going to be like a DIY decor or food and drink options. I think anything at the reception is going to be ways that you can like cut costs. There are going to be costs that you just cannot get out of, like paying your officiant, for example. Like, there are costs involved. Even if you have a friend marry you, they do have to get ordained to be official, and there is a cost behind that. I live in a state where a notary can technically marry us. And to be notarized or to get notarized, that is another cost. So there are like little things like that you won't be able to get out of. Venue cost, or I feel like one of them. Actually, I take that back. There's just some things you're not gonna be able to get out of. So definitely, again, going back to that priority list, make sure you have your priorities straight as far as what you absolutely have to have, and maybe focus on those priorities and seeing if there are ways that you can cut costs. So anyways, that is just my 2 cents on it. Try to find ways to cut cost and see, you know, what you can work around, because I think that's gonna be the biggest thing. Like, DIY decor obviously is a huge workaround, and food and drink. I think those are like the top 2 ways that you can really cut cost. And yeah, if I can think of anything else, I'll try to leave it in the description box, or I'll come back and do a video on budgeting for a wedding. Let me know what you guys want to see. But anyways, I'm gonna close out this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any requests of what kind of videos you want to see in this wedding series, please leave them in the comments below. Subscribe before you leave, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, you guys.